Welcome to another edition of Big Blue Weekly presented by Ford. I'm Bob Papa. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas to all. On Sunday, the Giants will take on the Raiders in Las Vegas. We've got a big show lined up for you. Carl Banks goes to the coach's tape with strategy. Sean O'Hara goes one-on-one with Wan'Dale Robinson, and Bruce Beck has a conversation with Jameis Winston. But as always, I'd like to welcome in two-time Super Bowl champion, my co-host Carl Banks, and the head coach of the New York Giants, Mike Kafka. And Coach, happy holidays. Merry Christmas to you and your family. Well. So a challenging week for you too, right? Because you have the holiday mixed in. How do you keep the players focused when there's a lot of things going on the outside?
Yeah, I think you got to take advantage of the time we have in the building and make sure that we're really focused and detailed on how we're going to operate. We've talked through with the leadership council and talked through with our staff, the schedule and how we can maximize the front part of this week, be able to still celebrate the holidays on Christmas on Thursday, and then come back and finish the week strong on Friday and Saturday before we head out to Vegas.
Coach, now coming off of a game like Minnesota, the young quarterback probably had, I don't want to say his worst game, but it wasn't as productive, right? Mm-hmm. From a psychological standpoint, you being a quarterback and can know what the brain of a quarterback thinks like, what do you say to him? Just keep swinging, we got you, or how does that operate? Because I don't think he's a fragile kid.
No, by any means, no. I think, every week's going to be different. Mm-hmm. Some weeks we're going to have to run it 30 times. Some weeks we're going to have to throw it 50 times. And the way the game kind of dictated itself, the run game, the success of the run game kind of played out that way, mm-hmm. and was able to set us up for some good first down, second down production to give us into favorable third downs and, and continue to move the ball down the field and get us into scoring opportunities. And then when we had scoring opportunities, being aggressive mm-hmm. and trying to get points there. So, I think for Jackson, and he didn't have a whole lot of opportunities in the past game. We got to, and again, it goes back to everybody, not just one person, but we all got to do a better job of executing, operating in those situations when we know we can make a big play. Sure. Down the field, we had some opportunities, some drops, or some just missed ones there. So those are ones that you got to capitalize on, especially when you're able to dictate the game in terms of being able to run the football like we were. So that's just the flow of the game. And early in the week, as a staff, we had that feel like that's how the game was going to go. And then, you look back at it and it's 3 minutes and 20 seconds left in the fourth quarter, 1st and 10 at the -40. You're 25 yards from the game time field goal, 60 yards from a game winner with the ball in Jackson Dartan with 2 timeouts. Like, let's go. Like, that's really where the game came down to for us. And that's a situation where I'm going to take every day of the week.
Coach, part of the growing process for a young quarterback is adjustments during the course of the season. And it feels like over the last 3 games, teams have been very conscious to make sure they're disciplined in their rush, not allowing Jackson to make off-schedule plays and take off and run with the ball. Is that just part of the adjustments he has to make with the way teams are rushing him?
Sure. Yeah, I think that is a real part of it. Teams are definitely aware of his ability to get out and make plays in space. I think we continue to get better and work through our scramble mechanics. There are opportunities when he still does break the pocket, even though teams, may be more aware of it. There's still opportunities downfield, and we can continue to capitalize on those. I know he's hit a couple of those over the last couple of weeks, but yeah, that's part of our offense, and he's a huge part of it, whether it's in the pocket or being able to create outside of it.
Coach, this week you got a Raiders team that played Houston really tough last week. They've got a talented rookie running back. Carl's going to do a little breakdown a little bit later on in the show, but what makes Genty so difficult to deal with?
No, he's got all the tools of an elite running back, the speed, the power, the elusiveness. He's always falling forward. He's going to get the dirty runs as well. He's not just like a finesse guy. He can get up and outside and be on the perimeter as a pass catcher. So he does it all, and we're anticipating, a fair amount of targets and a fair amount of carries from him.
And I think the key for the defense is, obviously you got to play all 60 minutes, but tackling is the key against a guy like Genty.
Absolutely. And at this part of the season, you decrease because you're only allowed so many amount of padded practices. So we got to get the fundamentals worked through, right? Sure. We got to see how we can continue to work our vice tackles and out leverage him and be gap sound. We do have our run blocks, whether we're playing from a 2-high shell or a post-high shell. Being able to make sure that we're still got great gap responsibilities.
And as far as Bowers is concerned, do you almost have to treat him like a wide receiver?
Yeah, absolutely. He's got a great skill set. He can be in the core, as a run blocker. He can be extended out as a receiver. He's a big body. He's physical. We'll definitely need to know where he's aligned and where he's at each play.
And Carl and I, we're going to feature Max Crosby in the strategy segment, but when you watch him play, you would think that he's on an undefeated team with the motor that he has. Obviously, from your time in Kansas City when you were with the Chiefs, you got to see him twice a year. What makes him such a difference maker?
Yeah, he does not stop. He plays as hard as he can for as long as he can. And on top of that, he's super talented. He understands his moves, his counter moves. Yeah, I mean, he is an elite pass rusher. He's an elite run stopper. So, again, we know they like to move him around a little bit and understand what side of the field he's on. We need to know where he's at. He can put him up over the middle, over the center, and move him around as well. So, he's an elite player that can take over a game. So we got to do our best to minimize that.
Coach, we appreciate the time. Best of luck on Sunday, and we'll do it again next week.
Great. Thank you very much.
That's Mike Kafka, head coach of the New York Football Giants. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, Sean O'Hara goes one-on-one with Wan'Dale Robinson. All that and more here on Big Blue Weekly, presented by Ford.
Welcome back to Big Blue Weekly. We're down on the field right now, joined by Wan'Dale Robinson. Thanks so much for joining us. You're having a phenomenal season, career highs across the board.
Yeah.
What do you attribute your success this year to?
I would just say all the work I put in this offseason, and then, my coaches believing in me. Coming into the season, just wanted to expand my game a little bit, playing more on the outside, running some more routes down the field. And all of it just came together.
The production speaks for itself. You're just the third Giant in this franchise's history to have back-to-back seasons of 80 or more catches, joining Odell Beckham and Victor Cruz. When I say that, like, what goes through your mind?
Sometimes I can't believe it. Whenever you just said it, I really can't believe that. So, no, it's been great. I say just, wanted to continue to do what I can to help us win.
So you mentioned playing a little more on the outside. Obviously, with Malik Neighbors going down with his injury, that kind of forced you to have to maybe play outside more than you normally would.
Yeah.
But where did that come from? Was that something that you volunteered for, or was that something they asked you to do?
I think it was a little bit of both. I think once we all kind of knew Malik was going down, somebody was going to have to fill that void. And I was like, I can go out there and do it. I feel like I've showcased everything that I can do to you guys. And they gave me all the opportunities in the world to go out there and do it.
What's different about being outside, kind of closer to the boundary, as opposed to being in the slot?
Definitely the space sometimes. Sometimes in the slot you actually have a little bit more space to work around, and you just got to be really good with your releases out there on the boundary. And but sometimes it's even more so just one-on-one whenever you get those opportunities, and you can't get bracketed like you can in the slot. So.
Well, you can tell that the chemistry between you and Jackson Dart, it just continues to grow week in and week out. How is he different at this time of the year as opposed to when he was making his first couple starts?
I think he's just seen a lot of stuff. I think defenses are trying to throw a lot of different things at him to confuse him, and he prepares really, really well throughout the week, and just talking through him throughout the week just about everything and about all the looks that we could get about certain routes, and he just continues to grow that way.
There's kind of an element to playing receiver that not a lot of people think about, but you guys are asked to run block. I'm an offensive lineman, so of course I love the run blocking, but what are the challenges as you have to come in on a run and play and try to find the safety as he inserts and try to find a way to block him? So I can be the safety, you be the receiver. You tell me where you want me to line up.
If you're inside,
safety,
you're the safety right there, and I know we have an inside run. I know I got to get to that inside shoulder, so it's immediate dive down and try to get this inside pad and just fit up from there. A lot of safeties that we're playing, they're just straight dive bombing, getting down in the box.
So I'm not like I'm coming down from depth.
So it's just almost just a big collision, and we're just going to meet right there and allow our running backs to run off corners.
So when you're coming in for the block, are you thinking I want to make contact and drive my feet, or I'm coming in, it's kind of like a one hit and at the same time the back's going by you?
A little bit of both. I say kind of depending on the safeties, sometimes the bigger guys that, sometimes it's just got to be a big collision, make sure that the back can get through, and then other guys that are kind of pitter-patter with their feet, and you can run your feet with them too.
Thanks so much for the time. Good luck this weekend.
Yes, sir. No, I appreciate it.
All right, Wan'Dale Robinson. Don't go anywhere. We've got a lot more to come right here on Big Blue Weekly.
Welcome back to Big Blue Weekly, presented by Ford. I'm Bob Papa. On Sunday, it's the Giants in Las Vegas to take on the Raiders. Bruce Beck had a chance to catch up with Jameis Winston, talking a little holiday spirit.
Hey, Bob, during the holiday season, I thought there was no one better to talk to than the 11-year veteran and the man who has words that always are priceless, Jameis Winston. What does Christmas mean to you?
Well, Bruce, it is the most wonderful time of the year where you unite with family and you celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ, but also you just celebrate all the great things that has happened this year. I believe that the most important gift that we get is the present, and that is being where your feet are right here, right now, and you celebrate that with teammates. So hopefully the New York Football Giants can get a win to get a gift to the city of New York City.
What do you wish for your family and friends?
I wish peace, health, and prosperity to my family, my friends, and my peers in New Jersey and New York and people all over the world, because we're finishing up this year strong.
Speaking of the world, it's a divisive world out there today. So how can everyone come together?
Be the change that you desire to see, whatever that may be, whatever your most popular podcast is, most popular TV show is, who's your most popular pastor, wherever you're being fed, try to just be grateful and be kind and give that off to someone else.
What is your favorite dish during Christmas time?
Well, my favorite dish, it reminds me of Thanksgiving in a way. It's collard greens, because you eat collard greens coming into the new year for the money, y'all. Some black-eyed peas, that's favor and prosperity. Some candy yams, just to fill my sweet tooth. And we finish off with some nice protein, with some turkey and some fried chicken.
Jameis, thanks for sharing some thoughts with us. We always appreciate it.
Thank you, Bruce. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all my New Jerseyans and my people in New York City.
Bob, he is an NFL treasure. Back to you.
Well, thanks, Bruce. Any meal that Jameis is a part of, it's got to be a lot of fun. Now it's time for this week's edition of Strategy, presented by Microsoft Copilot. And Carl, we're going to take a look at the Raiders, who played Houston really tough last week. And Ashton Genty, who was taken in the first round, this guy is a really talented player. And we know how much the Giants have had problems stopping the run. How do they deal with this talented rookie?
So if I had to make a comparison, I would say his running style is similar to Ezekiel Elliott. He's not breakaway, but he'll break every tackle and get every yard that he's intending to get. Let's just take a look here. Classic inside run, little inside zone here. Motion takes you there, inside zone. You can see his vision. He's already peeking all the way out here. He sets it up, runs right through 3-4 tackles. I mean, just take a look at this. The defense has it set up so that they can make the tackle. Your inside linebacker, number 51, he's flowing. He's got the cutback. He sets down, cuts back. That should be a tackle for 1 yard gain. Runs right through it, runs off the second guy, and there's 3 other guys.
Bring your arms, right? I don't know what the second guy's doing there. We see a lot of that throughout the National Football League. All right, Carl, another one. And this is against a good Jaguars defense, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, look, just patient, good vision. This is the type of runner that Ezekiel Elliott was when he came into the league. Just very patient runner, the right type of explosion, very smooth, but then at contact, he's hard to go down. So you have to have your run fits, and we saw in the first one where the linebacker was right there in the hole, and he got beat or just got run over. Here on this one, little outside zone, and the play looks like, Bob, looks like it's going to hit right here. This is a big window. Linebacker is in that spot. You've got a guy who's setting the edge here, but just watch. One guy gets pushed off the ball. Let's just take a look. Your defensive tackle here, he gets pushed off the ball, and that creates a lane. He's pushed, the edge is set, the wall was set, safety comes up, can't make the tackle.
Yeah, so the Giants are going to have to bring their pads when dealing with him. Brock Bowers, unbelievable last year as a tight end. Has dealt with some injuries this year. They have 2 really good tight ends, but he is a matchup nightmare for any defense.
And you know why he's a matchup nightmare for any defense? Count the yards he's allowed to run. He's got 10 yards before he encounters any defender. You cannot let a guy line up in the slot and just run free to where he wants to go. It's a mismatch. He's a wide receiver working on a safety at this point. I mean, there's nothing you can do. If he's allowed to run 10 yards to get wherever he wants to go, no one lays a hand on him. He's a wide receiver running, folks. Look at his footwork, all of that. He knows where the sticks are. It's just, he's a hard cover anyway, but you cannot allow Brock Bowers to just line up and run wherever he wants to run.
Really is amazing how many teams in the National Football League just refuse to jam these athletic tight ends, and then they wonder why they get beat.
It works against your best interest. It's not in your interest to allow a guy like that just to run free.
Now, despite all the losing that the Raiders have done over the last couple of years, one guy that never quits is Max Crosby. I mean, this guy plays as if a Super Bowl's on the line every week.
He's on 10 every single play. There's not a play he takes off, and there's not a play not worth him being involved in. Here is just speed rush around the edge, right? So that's an every down play for Max Crosby. But the thing that you'll note, the more you watch him, there's not a play worth him not getting involved. If the play is 10 yards down the field, he's going to try to catch it. He believes that he can make every single play, and his effort definitely shows that.
Max Crosby is something that the Giants are going to have to deal with, snap in and snap out. We're going to take a timeout on the program. When we come back, the Giants spreading holiday cheer within the community. All that and more here on Big Blue Weekly, presented by Ford. Welcome back to Big Blue Weekly, presented by Ford. Sunday, it's the Giants in Las Vegas against the Raiders. Well, each and every holiday season, Giants players are making sure they're giving back, spreading holiday cheer.
Are we ready and excited to write a landing? I'm excited. I'm asking Santa for a Ferrari, a Lamborghini, you know. Great job, Anna. Teamwork made the dream work. That's what I'm talking about.
That is a big turkey. Happy Thanksgiving, man. Happy Thanksgiving, man. Just for you.
All right, brother. Yeah. Happy holidays. Happy holidays. Yeah, have a good one.
We just wanted to, take you guys shopping for the day. You tell us what you like, we'll make it happen. How are you guys?
Good. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for coming.
Good. You guys love it?
Love it. You did great.
Yeah. Woo!
Santa Claus is coming to town.
Go, buddy. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Obviously, the players always looking to give back. Bobby Okereke, who is the Walter Payton Man of the Year honoree for the New York Giants, leading the charge for Big Blue throughout the course of the calendar year. And Carl, this matchup with the Raiders on the road, you know that Geno Smith can sling it. He's going to take some chances. The Giants are trying to end this losing streak right now. What would you say are some of the most important keys to the game?
Well, Genty and containing Crosby, but there's a tight end problem that has hovered over this team all year, and they've got to figure out how they're going to contain the tight end, because it's always a quarterback's best friend, right? And if they can find that matchup, because it's normally skill on skill, meaning your tight end is better than the linebacker covering him, or your tight end is better than the safety covering him. And if they can get those matchups, that's going to be a look in very crucial times. So you've got to figure out how you're going to contain the tight end. The running back, hey, look, the Giants have improved their run defense. They've got to do it for 60 minutes. They'll have success there if their run fits are correct and guys are where they're supposed to be.
This week's game between the Giants and the Raiders is presented by Pepsi, the official soft drink of the New York Giants. Giants game day deserves Pepsi. Well, that wraps it up for this week's show. For Carl Banks, Coach Kafka, Sean O'Hara, Bruce Beck, and our entire crew, we want to wish you and your family a great holiday and Merry Christmas. Thank you for joining us for this edition of Big Blue Weekly presented by Ford.